Toshana Tribe fam. Rita Movunda here, CEO of Toshana Investment Africa, and welcome to our YouTube page, TIA Marketplace. So today I'm going to do a little bit of a few of these business videos, right? Because we have been getting a lot of folks who are asking us specifically some business related videos, clips, and obviously everything that I dish out to y'all is all the stuff that I'm doing out here, and we've been moving, so I must be doing something right? Okay, so today's video is totally about delegate, okay? So one of my cousins, he's got a really big accounting firm in the UK, and imagine like during COVID, he has been able to expand his business. Just make my coffee. You know, it's the morning time. I got to get my energy right. So anyway, so he has been doing, expanding his business. And imagine that now at this point, he has over 400 clients. And I remember like sometimes what he'll do, you know, as cousins do for your cousins, sometimes we do a mentoring and we talk, and he kind of gives me like things to think about as I start on this business journey, right? Like he's been in the biz for like a decade plus. And so as newbies and as, you know, as we know, we've got to be able to talk to people and really understand kind of what's going out here, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel, but we've got to make sure that we are dishing out good service and commitment and consistency and tenacity and resiliency, all those things that I've already spoken about in other videos. So anyways, today, what I'm going to talk about is delegation. And why do I bring him up? So in one of our mentoring videos, on one of our mentoring Zoom like chats that we do, he had said to me, he was like, you know, one of the biggest problems with blacks and browns with our businesses is that we always want to hold everything tight, right? We want to hold everything real tight to us because we want to make it seem like we have full control over everything. And what he was saying is that he's noticed is that with his white clients, their businesses always tend to scale faster. They tend to move faster, grow faster, be bigger, because they're really good at delegating and just paying people for the service. Blacks and browns, we just want to do everything, right? Like, no, I can do the accounting, I can do the HR, I can do the invoicing, I can do blah, 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 blah. And when I first started, that was me too. I was like, no, I'm going to be able to do all of it. It's a lie, and you can't. And if you really feel like you can, you're going to be playing yourself, okay? So as you guys know, when I first moved here, I started from the ground up by myself. I didn't hire any agents to go to different various offices, government offices, licensing offices. I did everything myself because I didn't really have the cash to dish out to get people to do it for me. Now, I'm really proud of myself that I did it myself on that first run. Why? Because I really understood and I started to learn how some of these agencies move. I started to learn how some of these people receive an American, especially a Black woman American. I started to understand kind of how you're going to have to maneuver. I've learned kind of how you have to like come at them, right? I don't know if I did a video yet on how we got like our first sets of licenses, but I let you know, like, I lost it a couple of times, y'all. Like full-blown American-sized grade A hissy fit. Like, and you know, unfortunately, you shouldn't have to do it, but it's effective because here I am, right? Anyway, so delegate. Let's bring it back around. So anyway, so my cousin, when we used to do our little talks, you know, I was telling him all the things I was doing. I had called him. So now, you know, I had gotten all of our business licenses in order. I had already gotten our import licenses. I had an idea of what my products were going to be. I knew kind of how I wanted to get my customers. But now it's the finance and the money side, right? And let's be honest, that's the most important side. If you ask me, who's running your cash, how that's getting delegated, are you being put onto a budget? Are you being told what you can and cannot do by somebody else who understands what that means? To me, is the most important. I think it's really important to understand yourself and what your strengths and where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, because it's going to make your life easier. So anyways, right? black and brown over here. So I was like, now I'm gonna be able to do my own invoicing. I'm gonna be able to do my own taxes, all of that. So I called my cousin. I was like, yo, like, tell me some of these programs I could use. And he kind of looked at me and he was like, you sure you want to do that? I was like, yeah, we're small. Don't worry about it. So, so he gave me a couple of these programs, right? So one of them was like the Excel sheets. One was QuickBooks. One was this UK accounting program. I think it was called like EXO or something like that. So I downloaded all of them and I got the free 2-week trial. So I was like, bet we gonna get into it. I didn't make it, y'all. Didn't make it. I got onto that QuickBooks. I tried to make an invoice for one of our customers. I messed it up. Then I had to go back. Then it's prompting me about credit notes. Anyways, I gave up because I was like, Rita, why would you take all of this time to have to learn this aspect of the business when you know that there's qualified people out here who have been trained in this, who are in the business for this to do it, right? And I learned a lot of that. One, obviously talking to my cousin, but also just being a lawyer, right? Like, I love being a lawyer client. I love being a lawyer client. I love never having to practice law, keep my licenses active, and be a lawyer client. Why? Because I understand what's required. But now that I have changed my roles, now that I'm no longer a practicing active attorney, but now I am an entrepreneur with a business, my hats are different, right? My hat's different. I don't have to know all of the law. I got an understanding of what it is. I know what I'll need, but you delegate. So the whole point of this thing is delegation. So now I go back to my cousin and I was like, bro, I tried it for a week. I can't. I was like, I can't. It's making me nuts. I'm getting upset. And it's like, for what reason? Why should I make myself upset when there's already so many other stressors that are going on, right? Like, for what reason? That's like so stupid, right? So anyways, I told him, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm going to find a finance team who can do it. And literally, you know, because your cousins are sarcastic, he starts slow clapping me. And he was like, welcome to the best small business decision you've ever made. And in hindsight, he's right. And so what I actually really realized now, since we've been doing the business, we've been up and running now for about a solid 2.5 years, going into 3. And you got to delegate, y'all. You've got to delegate. You've got to, especially when you are a small SME, especially if you are someone where your funds are limited, but you understand where you want those funds to flow, when you understand where the sources of your various income is coming in from, you've got to delegate this stuff, right? So for instance, in my business right now, I'm the CEO, but for right now, I also do a lot of HR. I hate HR. I hate it. I look forward to the day that I no longer have to do HR. I don't even know why people go to HR school, but anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, so right now I do that. I do HR. I do a lot of creation of our marketing. We do a lot of creation of our sales, our marketing protocols, our catalogs, our sheets, our pricing sheets, all of that. I do all of that. Dispatching deliveries, making sure our money's coming in, following up with customers, finding customers, all of that. I do that. And it's a lot, right? However, the big parts of the business, I've delegated it and I've outsourced. And it's made my life so much easier. Why? Because I now have one person who is designated for a certain role. They understand what their role is. There's no overlapping of roles where now one has to consistently check on the other to make sure they've done what they've done, because that is a waste of your time and your energy, and it's a lack of efficiency. And what I have realized is that now that I have properly delegated those people to those different roles, it makes all of the other things that I do a little bit simpler. Right? So to give you an idea of everything we've outsourced, as I've told you, we've outsourced our full finance and accounting team. We use a local company that offers those services. And my finance lady right now, I love her to death. She is very strict. She is very mean. She is very, she got me on a whole budget, y'all, okay? And I had a girlfriend of mine say, it's like, well, if this is the first time you've ever been on a budget, you're doing good. Whatever. Ain't nobody like being on a budget ever. However, if I want my compound and if I want all this stuff, just rope me in and make sure I'm narrow. You get what I mean? So she does everything. So we have a system now between just myself and my finance. We utilize Google Sheets a lot. So for instance, anything that goes out, every sample that goes out, every product that goes out, everything is recorded. Any monies that come in, the way that the money comes in, everything is recorded. Paying for our monthly taxes, statutory payments, everything like that, everything is clearly delineated. We have our own system that finance and I have created that helps us move every month. It makes my life a lot easier. For instance, invoicing, credit notes, return products, expiring products, having a customer saying, hey, let's talk about the payment on this, making sure we know who's putting in our cash and who's not. All of that's finance, y'all. All of that's finance. And I'm so glad I don't deal with it. I don't want to have to sit here doing invoicing when I'm also over here doing other stuff. You get what I mean? So delegate all of that if you can. And it's also cheaper. Right now with our capital restraints, we don't have the means to be able to keep everybody in-house and being paying for it, as well as all of the other operating costs and the expenses that come with a business. So when you really learn how to delegate all of this stuff, it's gonna make your life easier, and you're gonna have a real fixed number as into what that's gonna be, right? So we outsource our financing. As you guys know, I'm a lawyer in my past life. I've also outsourced all my legal work. You need a legal team. You need a legal team. I don't care what nobody has to say to you. You need a lawyer who understands the business that you are in, who has your best interest in hand, at heart, and they're gonna do the work that they say gonna do, right? I've met a lot of lawyers here where you're just like, you know what, you're not fit to practice. I'll tell you another story later about how I got duped AF by 2 lawyers, okay? 2 of them. And I did my due diligence, which like really sucked. But again, I'll do another one on that one. And I hunted in this market to find a good lawyer. And in fact, let me just say this. You've got to put in your work. Okay, y'all got to put in your work. Don't just let somebody say, oh, hey, this guy's good, and then you just run with it, okay? You can vet them, ask them all the questions that you want. And if you don't like their answers, have them explain it. And if they got a problem explaining it, that's also letting you know what kind of work they're going to be doing, right? This is your business. This is your baby. You wouldn't leave your baby with, a man sitting in a van down the street. So you're still not going to do something like that with your business, right? Does that make sense? I think so. So all of our legal work is also outsourced. We've also hired a consultant for our marketing and sales strategy. That has also been incredibly helpful. Why? Because now you have a real partner to be able to really talk your ideas out. I can definitely say with my sales and marketing consultant, she definitely came in as a consultant, but now as we've been moving forward with the business, it definitely feels much more like a partnership because we both share the same vision. She understands exactly where we're trying to go, how we're trying to move it, what the constraints are, what our timelines are for ourselves, because we're not just trying to be out here for 10 years in the same place, because that's a waste of your time and a lack of efficiency. And if y'all don't know by now, I'm not no hard worker, I'm an efficient worker. Keep that in mind. I am not a hard worker, but I'm an efficient worker. Hard work, that's a waste of your time. If you find your systems, you'll make it work. Anyway, so marketing and sales has been outsourced. And then also for all of our social media, right? Right now, if you're really trying to do a business, If you are not on social media, if you are not having some sort of a web presence, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get yourself together and get that on deck, right? The beauty of having the social media is that while you're waiting for all your other stuff to get sorted out, you can start running on this stuff, right? Hello, we're here, right? Like for a long time, my marketing and sales partner was like, Rita, we have to do this. I didn't really understand it, right? I was like, what do you mean? Now that we're in it, now that everything's been delegated, now that I have real time to sit here and give you guys real content, I get it. You get what I mean? However, website creation, maintaining your website, making sure your content is going up, making sure your hashtags are there, making sure that you're hitting your target audiences, making sure that you have real marketing protocol, right? Because your social media content and your marketing protocols, they can be used together, but they're separate, right? Marketing protocols are your little flyers that you're giving out to customers, your posters that you're putting up in different places, your catalogs that you're giving to your customers so that they know what products you have, having a product catalog having a catalog for your different products, right? So for instance, for us, we've got a whole product catalog that has all of our products, but then we also have a separate product catalog just for our drinks, and then just for our boosters. Why? Because you're going to meet different customers who are going to have different requirements, and you've got to know who you're talking to, right? You got to know what do they want, what do they expect, and how do they want to look at it. Now, I'm a very artsy, fartsy, I love all things DIY, but I'm not a graphic designer, right? I don't know how to now take what I have created in my mind and now transpose it and now create it into a digital format. I don't know how to do all that, but you know who does? Our social media person that we've outsourced it to. And so he does all of that. So if you guys like any of the stuff that you see on our website, www.tashanainvestmentafrica.com, or you like any of our various pages, including our YouTube page, our various pages, TIA Active Shot Drink, TIA Gold Drinks, TIA Ladies Lounge, TIA Gentleman's Den. If you like any of that, outsourced, okay? Outsourced. And then on top of that, there are so many apps available and so many platforms available for you to get everything that you need outsourced. One of the ones I really like to use is Upworks.com. I have used it many, 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 many times. I think I've only had one time where I had a horrible experience. The guy was trash. But outside of that one time, I have been very satisfied. The beauty of using those apps are, one, you get to outsource everything out. Two, you can create your own budget for it so you know exactly what you're going to be getting. Three, you get access to the world. You get access to the world. It's amazing. So for instance, I have used people from Serbia, Pakistan, Egypt, Kenya, US, Chile. We've used people from all over the world. And what you're going to learn is that one, there are so many talented people out there. Two, there are so many talented people who will give you what you need, but making sure you understand what you need. There's a difference between the two, right? What you need and understanding what you need, and then being able to give it to you in a budget, right? So for instance, a lot of our little videos that we do, we've outsourced them to people in, like, my last two were from Egypt and Pakistan. Imagine the guy from Pakistan was 16 years old, y'all. But because these kids are growing up using all of this stuff, he knows it better than me. He does a better job than me, better than what I would have ever done. You know what I'm saying? So outsource all of this until you've got the funds and the means to be able to put it in-house. And the beauty is that when it's outsourced, let's say you don't like how they're working. Let's say it's not working with what works for you. Fire them, right? Hire and fire. That's another thing I've learned. Hire and fire. If it ain't working for what you need, if it's not doing what you need, then you don't need that, okay? I hire and fire. My present team It's taken me a long time to find them. Because like I said, I hunt for people in the market. I'm gonna look for you. I'm gonna find you. How you work has to fit with how I work. And it's gonna be you fitting with how I work, right? Why? Because it's your business and you're the baby. And that's just how it's gonna have to be, right? But anyways, point of this whole thing was delegate your stuff, y'all. Delegate, delegate, delegate. You know how we did a video with Karen. We were just having a talk the other day. She's like, Rita, I need more of this content for the social medias and all of that. I was like, delegate it. Why are you making yourself nuts doing this when your main business is therapy and giving people good therapy? Your main job is not to create content and put it up there. Delegate it. So if you don't learn nothing from what I'm saying, if you guys are right now, let's say you're in the process of your business and you're kind of stuck in certain areas. Maybe you think there's certain areas that you could really boost, but maybe you don't have the skills. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you just don't want to, right? Maybe you just don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's your prerogative. Outsource that stuff, y'all. And keep in mind, you can have your budgets, right? So for instance, when I used our Pakistani guy to do our videos, it cost me $10. That's it. Now, if you went to one of the guys who's coming out of the US, he's going to charge you $400. You get what I mean? Budget for everything. The guy that I used in Egypt charged me $7 an hour. Okay? You get what I mean? So outsource everything that you can outsource in the beginning of your business. And then while you are working, building, and growing your business to make sure that you hit that break-even point so you're not keep dishing out all this cash and you got nothing coming in, everything else is still moving, right? I know my finance team, she's still doing everything that she needs to do on that side so that we are statutorily compliant, we're tax compliant, and we're doing what's required in the market by government agencies. Thank you. That's her job. That's her business. Legal, same exact thing. Is there a new ruling that's come out for business owners? I'm not going to read legal journals here. I'm not doing that, right? But she does. And if there's something that's come out, she lets me know. Rita, listen, this is something we're going to have to consider. We had to do what was it? It was called like beneficiaries for your corporation. It was like a new thing they popped up, because they stay popping up new stuff around here, y'all. It was great. She let me know, Rita, this is what we're going to do. This is what the price is going to be. Done. Just get it done. Here's your fee. Keep it moving, right? I don't want to bog myself down with stuff you don't have to. All right. So the point of all of what I'm trying to say is delegate, delegate, delegate. If you know you're not good in computers, if you know you're not good at, fixing little glitches, if you know you're not good at adding in plugins and all of that. And the only reason why I know these words are because I sit with Curtis while he's doing it and he'll tell me what these things are, right? My mom has always told me, even though you might not know every part of your business, you have to understand what they're doing. Okay, so I might not fully understand how you have to put in your X's and O's on your Internet Explorer to put the plugins in, but I know what a plugin is. You get what I'm saying? I might not know what the TOT percentage rate is for your finance and how to do it, but I know it's required. You understand what I'm saying? So while you're growing your business, while you're doing all of this, stop stressing yourself out. Stop making yourself nuts over these small things that you can delegate out, put timelines on for when they're expected to be owed back, and keep it moving. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyways, like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends. You know where we at. TIA Marketplace on the YouTube, Tashana Investment Africa. Y'all gonna be knowing about it soon. But anyways, you get it. Delegate, delegate, delegate. Talk to y'all later. Bye.